Hi everyone, welcome to Sachii Online Academy. This is Ezekiel. Guys, today we are going to do a program to find the factorial of a certain number using the assembly language, using the MIPS. Okay, so if you are new to this channel, just click the subscribe button below and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you get a notification from this channel. And also, if you already subscribed to this channel, just enjoy this video that I have made for you guys. So in this video, what we'll be dealing with is the factorial of a certain number. So I'm going to start by showing you how do we find a factorial, okay, of a certain number, and after that we will dive into our program. We'll be explaining the code because I've already written down the code, so I'll be just explaining the code. So here guys, the factorial of a number, guys, the factorial of a number, like let me say I want to find the factorial of 2. Okay, I want to find the factorial of 2. How do I find the factorial of 2? The factorial of 2 is just 2 times the numbers which are below 2, okay, but not below 1, not 0, and those which are below 0, okay, or the negative number. So it will be just like 2 times 1, okay, and then the factorial of 3 will be just like 3 times all the numbers which are less than 3, which is times 2 times 1, except 0 and other negative numbers, okay. And then if I put, then the factorial of 4 will be just equal to 4 times all the numbers which are less than 4 but excluding the 0 and the 0 and the negative numbers. So here the factorial of 2 is 2, the factorial of 3 is 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6, and then here I think it's 4 times 3, 12 times 2, which is 24, times 1 is just 24. The answer is 24. So this is how do you find the factorial of a certain number, guys. This is how do you find the factorial of a certain number. Also, it is just the same to say a factorial of 4 will be equal to just 4 times the numbers, all the numbers which are less than 4, which means I can say 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. This one is just the factorial of 4 because I'm saying 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, it's just the same, and this is the format that I'm going to use in this tutorial. If I say the factorial of 3, guys, it's just the same like it's saying 1 times 2 times 3. That's the factorial of 3. I'm saying 3 times 2 times 1, or 1 times 2 times 3. Okay, and then we get our answer. If I say factorial of 5, okay, it's just the same as say 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 5. This is the factorial of 5, or 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, the ordinary way, or just say 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. This is the factorial of 5. This is how do we find factorial of a certain number. Okay, so here this is our code, guys. And also you have to know that a factorial of 0 is 1. Just the factorial of 0, guys, is 1. Okay, if someone enters a 0, then we have to display 1 because the factorial of 0 is 1. Okay, so here, guys, in my code I've put this label with this ASCII, with this string /n, which is printing for those who are doing C++, okay, we know that to print a new line, to print the next character on a new line, we use /n. So this is the string that I've put in a new line, and then I've also initialized this space with this just a blank space there. I would like to use it in the code, and then this is the data that we want to use, guys. So this is the data segment. That's where we put the data that we want to use in our code. Okay, then here limit, this is where I want to put the number that I want to find its factorial. Okay, so enter the number to find its factorial. That's where do you put the number where that you want to find its factorial. So it will be like the limit. Like if I want a factorial for 4, I will be saying 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So 4 will be the limit. That's why I have said it limit here, guys. Okay, and then the answer, then I will be displaying answer is, okay, I want to use it later. Then on the text segment, that's where we will put the instruction that we want to execute. So our first instructions was to print out the limit or number to find its factorial. Okay, here that's where I want to print this statement. Okay, enter the number to find its factorial. So how to print that? So I'm going to call a system, I'm going to do a system call for, guys, just to print the string to the screen. We use system call for. Okay, but when you are doing syscall, guys, we have already said in our previous video that for how to perform a syscall, performing a syscall, we have to put a certain value in $v0 register, and then we perform a syscall. Okay, so when you say syscall, it will come here and check the value in $v0. It will transfer the control of our program to the operating system, and the operating system will check in the register $v0, and then it will see there is a 4, which is a command to print an integer, a string, and the string will be from this address. Okay, because we have loaded the address in argument 0, so the string will be from the address in argument 0, which is this limit here, which is enter the number to find its factorial. Okay, and then after that, after the user enters this text, the number or the integer that he enters. Okay, but before here we have just put the system code to print the text. Okay, then here, okay, you want to print the next character on a new line, which means you want to, whenever the user put its the number, guys, you want it to be actually write that the number below this text, below this text, this whole text here, below this whole text. Okay, so that's why I am printing this new line. Okay, this new line here, I'm printing /n. So whenever I print /n, then that one, the bit for input, guys, will be under under that text. So I'm repeating the system call for printing the text on here on new line, and then after that, guys, I'm doing a system call for accepting an integer from the user. System call syscall for accepting an integer from the user. Okay, from the user, we use syscall 5. Okay, so whenever you do a syscall, we put the value for that syscall in $v0. So here when I say syscall, then we transfer the control to the operating system. The operating system will check the value in $v0, and which is 5, which is a command for accepting an integer from the user. So here our system or the computer will be ready to accept the value or the integer from user. Okay, so whenever the user enters that value will be saved somewhere, where it will be saved in $v0 again, you see. But you know, $v0 is a register that you'll be using over and over, so you have to move that value immediately into a certain register where we'll be store it, and then we use it later. So the number that you want to find its factorial, if you put 5, you are going to stay to store that value in $t0. So that's why we are moving this value from $v0, and then after that we have got the branch statement, which is the branch if equal. Then here we want to see if the user enters 0. If the user enters 0, then we have to display the result. Why? Because we already know that the factorial for 0 is 1. Okay, the factorial for 0 is 1. So we jump to this label, which is display. So if you go right down here, let's find the label display. Where is the label display? Then we jump to display. I think we have got the label display. Don't we have the label display? Product results. And then we have to jump to display. I think we must have a display somewhere. Okay, here it is not it was not boarded. This display, if you see here in display, we are going to display the something which is in our argument register. Okay, and then we are going to display we are going to display the answer is here. I'm going to display answer, which is a string. System call 4 is for printing the string, which is answer. Here I'm going to print from this address. Okay, I'm going to print the answer is, and then after printing the answer is, followed by what? Followed by another syscall. Here I'm going to load in V0, I'm going to load 1, and then in A0 I'm going to load 1, load immediate value using all load immediate value. Why loading 1 in V0? Because I want to perform syscall 1. Syscall 1 is what? Is for printing the integer to screen. So I am going to print the integer to screen. Which integer? From A0, and then we are going to print the answer is 1. Why? Because whenever you enters the user enters a 0 in input, we have to display that the answer is 1, because you know that the factorial of 0 is 1. And then after that, guys, okay, let's say the user enters something, the number which is not equal to 1. Then you have to proceed to the next stage. Which next stage, guys? Which is we are going to load 1 in T1 and 1 in T2. These values we are going to use them later. So this is the algorithm for calculating the factorial. So how does this algorithm work? It's just a while loop in C language, a while loop in Java, a while loop in C++. But here we are using the assembly language, the MIPS. So how do we do it? This is just a label, guys. Okay, product, a label. This is where are we multiplying our factorial, okay, to calculate our factorial. So how are we doing this, guys? So here we are saying adding the immediate value. This one is just a statement, guys, to increment the value of $t2. Add immediate value. We are saying the contents of $t2 plus 1. Then the answer we store it in what? In T2. So here I'm saying $t2 must be equal to $t2 plus 1, something like this. Okay, so here I will be saying 1 plus 1, because here I've put 1 here in $t2. So I'll be saying 1 plus 1, then I'll put it 2 here. Then I'll come here. After doing that, I'll come here on the next instruction. Then I'll multiply the value of $t1 and T2, which means I'll be saying shift and then I'll copy this, I'll paste here. I'll be saying $t1 is equal to $t1 plus our register T2 here. I'm saying it's not plus, I'm sorry, I'm multiplying. Okay, I'll multiply, which means these ones are just our destination registers. Okay, so I am saying this register times this register, then the answer I will store in here. So how does it going to work here? So here I'm saying I have said 1 plus 1, then the answer is 2. Then here I'm coming to say $t1 is 1, then I'm saying 1 times 2, then the answer I will place it in T1, then the answer will become 2 now. So if someone enters 2 to find the factorial of 2, then I will be saying, then here in T1 I will be having $2 as my answer, and then I'll come here and test if $t2 is less than $t0. But what was the value of $t0? The value of $20 is the value that was entered by the user, guys, that we have stored here. That was entered by the user to find its factorial here, the one that we have moved into $t0, guys. Okay, so here it's simple, guys. Let me put so here, so guys, if the value of $t2 of register T2, which was 0, guys, if that value is which was 2, if that value is less than 2, then we can go back to product. You see, this is a while loop. We can go back to this label product, and then we do this. If this value is less than this, then we go back here, then keep on doing this, keep on looping this. Okay, and then if this statement fails, come to the next, go to the next instruction. Then here we jump to the result, then we display the result, guys, that we get from this calculation. So I'm going to calculate the using this algorithm. I'm going to calculate the factorial of 3 and 4, guys, manual, and then I will explain the remaining code, and then we can run our code. So let me come here, guys. I want to find the factorial of 3. So what I'm going to do first here, initially I have got 1 in T1 and in T2. Those are the values that we have. And then in T0, guys, we have got 3. Okay, so let me say in T0 we have got 3, which is the number that we want to find its factorial at first. Okay, and then in T1, okay, in T1 we have got in T1 we have got 1, and then in T2 we have got also 1 again at first. These are initial values that we have, guys, here at first. So here I'm saying, when I say when on add immediate value here, I'm adding T2 and 1 here, this immediate value, and then I'll put the value in T2. So on our first execution of this instruction, guys, what we are going to get, guys, on our first execution, guys, what we are going to get here, T2, guys, will be equal to what? Our T2 will be equal to 2. Why? Because I'm saying 1 plus 1, then the answer will be equal to 2. And then the T1 here, guys, the T1 here will be equal to what? On our first loop. Then you are saying, after having 2 here, I'm going to say T1 plus T2, which is 1 plus 2. Not plus, I'm going to multiply, which is 1 times 2. Then I'm going to get to the value. That value I'm going to store it here in T1. So our T1 is going to be equal to what? To 2. Okay, but T3, what is the value of T3? T3 is going to be remain constant. It's going to just to be like that. And then here I'm going to test, does it 2 less than 3? Yes. Then do what? Go back to product and then execute this instruction. Then now I'm going to say 1 plus the value of T2, but the value of T2 is now 2. So 1 plus 2, I'm going to get 3. So now our T2 is going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to 3. Okay, and then I'm going to say 3 times the value of T1. What is the value of T1? The value of T1 is still equal to 2. So 3 times T1, the value is equal to what? It's going to be equal to 6. Okay, after getting 6 here, I'm going to say the value of T2. What is the value of T2? Now we have 3 as the value of T2. So I'm going to say 3, is it less than 3? No. So do what? Just go and do the next. But you see here, guys, we just jump and print the result. But what was our result? Our result is 6, guys. Is the value which will be in $T1 is going to be our result, which is 6. So the factorial of 3, guys, you see that the factorial of 3 is equal to 6. Okay, so here we have said 1 times 2 times 3, and then you have managed to get what? Our 6. Okay, you've said 1 times 2 times 3, and then you have managed to get our 6. So now let's work for the factorial of 4. Now we need the factorial of 4. So initially we have got our T3. Okay, is it T3? No, our T0. Okay, our T0, we've got our T0, the initial value. We want to find the factorial of 4. So our T0 is equal to 4. Then we have got T1 is equal to, our T1 is equal to 1, and then our T2 is equal to 1 again. And then on our first execution of this code, I'm going to say here 1 plus 1, I'll get 2, and I will put the value in T2. So at first we are going to get 2 here, and then I'm going to say 2 times 1 in T1 here, 2 times 1 in T1, then the answer is, I will store it in T1, which is going to be equal to 2. Okay, but here this one will be remaining as 4. And after that, what I am going to do on the second execution, I am going to say I'm going to test here. Does it the value of T2, which is 2, does it 2 less than the value of T0, which is 4? So does it 2 less than 4? Yes. So go back to product. Okay, and then here we are going to execute this statement again. Okay, so I'm going to say 1 plus the value of T2, and then I will put the answer into 2, which is 1 plus 2, 1 plus this 2, and then the answer is 3. Then I'll put the answer in T2, which is 3. So here we have got 3. Now after that, I'm going to say T1 times T2, then the answer I'll put in T1. But what is the answer of T1? Is still 2. And then what is the answer of T2 is 3. So 2 times 3, the answer is 6. Then I'll put it in T1. Then I'll put 6 here. That's the answer. Okay, but what is the value of T0? The value of T0 is still 4. Okay, we didn't change it. So I'm going to say T2, does it 3 less than 4? Yes. So let's go for another loop. Okay, we are going to back here, and then we are going to say 1 plus the value of T2. So 1 plus 3, we are going to get 4. Okay, and then I'm going to say 4 here times the value of T1, which is 6. So 4 times 1, we are going to get 24. Okay, after getting this 24, I'm going to store the value in T1, which is in T1 you're going to get 24. After that, I'm going to say T2, which is 4, is it less than T0, which is 4? No. So go to what? Go to the next instruction. If this fails, it will come here, and then we jump to the result to print the result. Okay, so we'll be going to print the result. So you see here the result will be 24. That this one will be our answer. 24 will be our answer. 24. So you see that the factorial of 4 is what? Is 24. So you see this is our algorithm. This is how do we calculate the not Fibonacci, the factorial, okay, of 4, or the factorial of a certain number. So here, when I'm saying jump to result, I'm saying jump all this code, because this display, we don't want to run this code from when we are coming from this algorithm. We want to jump to result, and then result. So where is the label result? We are going to jump to a label result here, this label result. So when we come here to label result, I'm going to print to do a syscall to print the string which says the answer is here. I'm going to load the address of answer into argument A0. Okay, here this label, I'm going to load the address of this label. Answer is here, answer is, then I'll display, then I'll do syscall. So I'll be displaying like the answer is, and then here I'll be printing load immediate value 1, and then here I'll be doing a syscall. No, and it's display. I'm looking for display, jump to result. Okay, here. Okay, then after that, guys, I will do a syscom 1 to print the integer, which is our answer, and then the answer we have said our answer will be in $t1. So we move the value of t1 into A0, because whenever you want to print a certain number, whenever you want to print, you have to move the thing that you want to print in A0, and then we perform our syscom, and after that we do syscom 10 to execute or to terminate our program, guys. So this is how do you calculate the factorial using the MIPS. Okay, so let us test our program, and then it is a enter number to find its factorial. Then I'm going to put 4, and if I say enter, you see the answer is 24. And if I clear this, and if I reset this, and if I run this, if I put 3, then you see the answer is 6. Okay, and then if I reset this, and then if I put 1, okay, we have already said that if I put 0, I mean, we have already said that the factorial of 0 is what? Is 1. So the answer is 1. Okay, so you see that if I put 5, you see that the factorial of 5 is 120. So this is how do we calculate the factorial of a certain number. So guys, I have to say thank you for watching this video, guys. So if you like this video, guys, just give it some thumbs. Okay, also don't forget to share this video, guys. Just share with your colleagues, guys, and also put some comments in the comment section so that I'll be knowing what to improve, also what to do next for you guys. So I have to say thank you. Just enjoy your time.